welcome or welcome back to the stream. We're going to start off with talking about the Israeli diplomats that were killed at a museum in Washington, D.C. In the United States last night for Australians. Or there has been strong speculation online that the shooter is an Hasan Abu Hasan Piker listener. Whether or not that's accurate remains to be seen, but we are going to discuss the implications of free speech and the limitations of free speech tonight. I've done a bit of research. I do have a Juris Doctor, which is a legal qualification. So whilst I obviously am not in the US and am not acculturated, we are both common law systems. There's a lot of overlap. Yeah, let's get into it. A Chicago-born man arrested as a lone suspect in the fatal shooting of a pair of Israeli embassy workers outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington was charged on Thursday, Friday Australian Eastern Standard Time, in the federal court with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Officials said he was heard chanting "Free Palestine" after he was taken into custody. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino posted on social media that investigators were aware of certain writings allegedly authored by the suspect and hope to soon have updates regarding their authenticity. Bongino's statement appeared to refer to a manifesto signed with Rodriguez's name that was posted to an anonymous X account on Wednesday night shortly before the shooting, with the title, "Escalate for Gaza, Bring the War Home." Israel has faced sustained international condemnation for its escalating Gaza military offensive, while Jewish advocacy groups have warned of a rise in anti-Semitic incidents globally. Investigators also delved into apparent political affiliations of the suspect, who worked for a healthcare non-profit and was believed to have had past ties to far-left groups. He says, I did it for Gaza, free Palestine." Conservative supporters of Israel, led by President Donald Trump, have branded pro-Palestinian protesters as anti-Semitic. His administration has detained protesters without charge and cut off funding to elite US universities that have permitted demonstrations. Wow. So some people online are speculating. Some people are speculating that the alleged shooter was a Hasan listener. I can't confirm or deny that. I can't find any solid reporting rather than people just speculating wildly on the internet as they do. Could there be legal repercussions for Hasan? So that's the question that I was researching today. So the charge, if he was in breach of the First Amendment, what First Amendment speech covers, it would be incitement of violence. So one of the areas that is not protected by the First Amendment free speech, incitement to violence. So it's when you suggest to somebody that they should commit an act of violence towards another specific person. So there's an incredibly high threshold for free speech to cross over into incitement of violence. So there are 2 landmark cases in the US which establish this, and ironically one is incredibly far right and one is incredibly far left. So that's what I thought was a bit interesting. Landmark case in the United States Supreme Court, 1969, we have Brandenburg, 1969. I'm not going to make a 69 joke. I don't think it's appropriate at this particular juncture, but yeah. If you want to say nice in your head, I won't judge you. So in 1969, the leader of the KKK, in an address to his followers, fantasized and encouraged violence against African Americans. The Supreme Court determined he was not guilty of incitement for the following reasons. He didn't encourage violence against a particular individual, nor was there a particular plan of action. So not only do you have to name a particular individual, you also have to essentially provide a roadmap for violence. So This is where he's going to be at this time. If you go there with a hammer in the lobby and smack him 3 times in the face, you know, that might do it. He spoke in general and vague terms. So just spoke vaguely and generally about violence towards a particular group. He talked about a white future, but again, general and vague, didn't call for the deaths of any particular individual. The Supreme Court ruled at no point did his words or speech become a roadmap for violence. It is a precedent that was then used in the NAACP, which apparently, and I'm just saying what the acronym stands for. I don't use the term colored people, but this is clearly an antiquated acronym, so don't come from me. The National Alliance for the Advancement of Colored People. It says Claiborne Hardware, US. So this was tried in the Supreme Court in 1982. So civil rights activist Charles Evers encouraged a boycott of white businesses. And he said, I quote, "If we catch any of you going into these racist stores, we're going to break your damn neck." Is there a potential for future violence? Yes. Is it protected speech? Yes. Brandenburg means it's protected political speech. Is political speech often passionate, sometimes violent? Yes. Is it protected? Yes. Why is it protected? No particular individual was named. No particular plan of action was stipulated. General and vague terms, the white future, were discussed, but again, no roadmap for violence and no particular individual. So when we're looking at, say, somebody like Hasan, who some may say is, you know, an agent provocateur, does say things that skirt the edge, I have personally never heard him say anything that would, in actuality, be covered by the First Amendment. So although some people might say maybe in a moral sense, if this person is a listener of Hasan, and again, this is pure speculation. I haven't seen anything concrete saying that he listened to Hasan. We don't know that he did, but a lot of people are speculating, so I'm just, you know, playing the what if, whatever, you know, game as well. His speech would 100% be covered by the First Amendment. Unless he's named, you know, these 2 people that were unfortunately shot last night, unless he's named those people and he's named, you know, this is where you can find them, this is how you can kill them, get your handgun, go to this museum, do this, do that, shoot them, and then do blah, 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 blah. They have expressed stepping up, you know, their escalation of protest and perhaps using violence means to achieve an end, but he never called for the death of these particular young people, so he's essentially covered, and that's how it works. That is how the incitement for violence clause works. Name a particular individual and then provide the roadmap for the violent acts against those people or persons. Well, yeah, advertisers and, you know, moral causes for advertisers, morals and ethics in business is a completely different thing. So Twitch can still 100% be face consequences for allowing Hasan to say the things that he does on the platform. That's 100%. That's just fuck around and find out. That hasn't got anything to do with protected speech. Like, nobody's under any obligation to give Hasan a platform to exercise his free speech. So yeah, I think adpocalypse for sure. Good for me. I just started Twitch 2 weeks ago, so I chose a really, really good time to come in and start really dedicating a lot of my time to this whole streaming thing. But yeah, that's it's not about me, I guess. It's about the greater good at the end of the day. I hope I covered everything. Like I said, I live in a country that's not under the US Constitution. I live in Victoria, so I'm under the State Constitution of Victoria and also the Commonwealth Constitution of Australia. Well, let's go into Bradfield. It looks like the electorate of Bradfield are going to have to start counting just completely recounting their votes to determine who actually won the seat.